Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're gonna try some Esper Kaito. So, I've heard that Dimir was floundering in the, I guess the qualifier or something, in the Magic tournaments because everyone's playing VV Cauldron. But, I wanted to see whether or not Esper Kaito actually is better than Dimir. So, I played a lot of Dimir in the recent years, or feels like years, recent days, when the Not Spider-Man has released, and Dimir kind of is sort of that deck that seems like it's very good, but then when you play it, it seems like all of your opponent always has the right cards at the right time to kind of handle it. So, I want to go back to the good old Esper Pixie combo, where just make our opponent discard their cards. So they don't have the cards they want to go against us. So we got Tinybones instead of Hopeless Nightmare, but we still have Stormchaser's Talent, we still have Nurturing Pixie, so we can make them discard their cards, or we can just make it out of otters, bounce them with the, or bounce our ETB enchantments with our Nurturing Pixie, and then just kind of go over the top with that. We also have Sunpearl Kirin and Fear of Isolation to do the same thing. And we can get rid of our opponent's creatures with cards like Nowhere to Run, and we can get rid of opponent's hands or creatures with cards like Momentum Breaker. So this deck is really just about the 1-drops and the 2-drops, but we can actually kind of finish that off with the 3 or 4 drops technically with Enduring Curiosity and Kaito, Bane of Nightmare. So that's the whole idea of the deck. It's very straightforward, but at this point everyone is familiar with this deck, right? So let's talk about the deck list real quick. In the start we have Stormchaser's Talon, 4 Stormchaser's Talon and 3 Tinybones Join Up. That's our Tempo 1-drop, right? So if we're going first, that's what we want to play. If we're going second, maybe we'll Tragic Trajectory them, but mainly it's just these. And then we also have a 1-drop or 4 1-drops in Nurturing Pixie to bounce our, ETB cards and also make a 1-mana 2/2 flyer. That's actually pretty good, 1-mana 2/2 flyer. If you attack 10 turns, you'll win the game by just 1 pixie. If 2 pixies, it's 5 turns. 3 pixies, it's, I don't want to do the math, but I think it's like 3.5 turns. But, the point is, right, just by attacking with pixies, you can already win. But that's not the only thing. So that's turn 1, or 1 mana play. 2 mana play, we got 4 Fear of Isolation and 4 Sunpearl Kirins. Now, Fear has a downside that we got to return a permanent to our hand. And Kirin has an upside that we get to return a permanent to our hand. But both things are the same. We want to return a permanent to our hand, and that's where we want to return our, ETB cards that will get us more value. So these are the tempo plays. And then for the 3-mana tempo play, we got Kaito, Bane of Nightmare that we can ninjutsu in. And 4-mana tempo play, we got Enduring Curiosity that can draw us a lot of cards when we attack with our talented otters or Nurturing Pixies or Sunpearl Kirins. A lot of these also have flying, so that is evasion, which would mean that we are almost guaranteed to draw cards with Enduring Curiosity. And of course, right, this deck is all about interaction with our opponent. So we got our interaction spells for Tragic Trajectory. No more cut down, unfortunately, but Tragic Trajectory is still okay. -2/-2 on a creature at sorcery speed is definitely bad, but -10/-10 on a creature if a permanent left the battlefield this turn, which definitely will be because we are doing a lot of bounces. So Tragic Trajectory should work. And then we also have 4 Nowhere to Run and instant speed removal, which is very good. And 4 Momentum Breaker, which not instant speed, but will make our opponent either sack a creature if they have a creature. And if they don't, that means that they're trying to play control or they're holding up their cards, we'll make them discard a card. And one other side of Momentum Breaker, a lot of people forget, life gain. So if we're playing against Burn, we can always use the Momentum Breaker once we make them discard a card already to gain some life. So if we, get to max speed, they burst lightning us, we gain 4 life, they lose 2 cards, right? We make them discard a card, and they waste the burst lightning on the Momentum Breaker, basically, because we gain that 4 life back. So this deck is how we're gonna handle the current meta, which I want to say is aggressive, but it's also kind of weird. There's a lot of burn decks, but there's also a lot of life gain decks and a few chocobo decks still running around where, these interaction pieces will definitely handle. Then, some on the land base, because it's a tricky land side, right? Because with 23 lands, since we are Esper color, we're going to run 1 of each basics, then 4 Floodfarm Verge, because that's the only blue-white land that we have, and then 4 Godless Shrine, because that's the black-white land that we want, because we want to have white mana, but we also need black and blue, so 4 Watery Grave and 4 Gloomlake Verge. So that should give us the split that we need for the color that we want, because mostly we need black mana, right? A lot of the interactions are black mana. And we need a little bit of white mana for our bounce spells. That's the whole idea. Of course, 3 starting towns should be able to help us get to the mana filter that we need. And we put in 1 Soulstone Sanctuary that we can attack with. The great thing about Soulstone Sanctuary is that it turns into a creature of all type, which is including Ninja, so Kaito's +1 actually buffs our Soulstone Sanctuary as well. Just one off for a little bit of niche sort of a combo, but not more than one, because this is a 3-color deck, and we can't really afford that many colorless lands. That's the whole idea of this deck. Now let's go into the game and see how well we will do. Alright, our opponent is Griot. The mighty Griot. Well, he is mighty and he is Griot. But we are the go first. Alright, Stormchaser's Talon and going first. Say no more. I'm gonna get talented on this. And we're gonna hit him with some talents. Stadium Headliner. We got 2 starting towns. The question is, am I gonna need the untapped land later? Right? Probably should try this. Bounce our talent. Can we get more talented? I doubt he's gonna block, but we can very aggressively push through if he doesn't block. Let's see what's going on here. He's making a very careful decision here in his headlining red deck. That, or he's, you know, one of those red players, which is almost every one of them. They rope for no reason. If they're not immediately about to win, they will rope every other turn, just so that they can squeeze out a win from impatient opponents. This is a very typical red arena player. They can't win that often by their skill, so they win by trying to rope. Yeah, we all know what happens. I'm gonna just be salty as they keep roping everyone. You want to attack? You didn't want to attack. And I did want to draw another land, because why the hell not? Alright, let's just keep taking damage, why not? Do I want to make these a 3 though? I mean, I think so. Just gotta get those damage in. Alright, he's just taking those damage. He took 10. Wow. Wow, is that a bad play or what? Okay. Now he's down to no cards. We'll just kill that heavy, right? I don't think I need to see it. Oh, okay, quit. I mean, I so flooded, but still beat their butts. Alright, our opponent is Raxin. And the title is Raxin. Well, it looks like we're going to start some towns. White. And then nothing. I mean, that's a little too many pixies. But hey, you know, I'm going to take some damage, play some pixies. I hope I get somewhere. Voice. This is if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn. Well, guess what? I'm going to have some non-land permanents leave the battlefield. Do I want to? I don't think I care about my life total. I think we throw down the starting town. Yes. Bounce this tower. And would be tragic if your voice of victory got -10, -10. What else you got? Primate. Aaliyah. Just to gain the life. Alright, I could tax out the Primate here. I don't know if that's the best idea. The other thing I could do is just Stormchaser's Talon, bounce the Talon, and then play the Talon again. And that will make this a 3. Against this deck, going wide really hurts him. But I don't think the life total hurts him as much, so we'll go like this. I mean, he probably has shelter, but I don't know if there's anything he wants to shelter on this board. There's nothing too crazy. Okay, Requisition Raid is all he does. Do you want to attack? He didn't want to attack. I'm sorry, that was the wrong choice there. So now we can Kaito. Let's surveil to try to get some card. Ooh,
my eyes are as sharp as my sword.
I don't want any of these. I need to draw more lands. That was not a land, that was a curiosity. Alright, we're getting mana screwed this game. Something every game. Aaliyah. He gains the 1 life. He has a 5/5. Just pass his turn. Alright. I mean, I could just stun your Johnny. Have you thought about that? I'll do this again. Stun your Primate. And this is a lot of damage.
Rethink your life.
You should rethink your life. Even though I'm mana screwed, I got you on the beatdown. Requisition Raid. Come on, how many creatures do you actually have? Down to 1. With a stun Primate, no less. But he's got Dave Judgment, even that won't do it. That's right, GG. Nice Life King deck. Well, that Life King deck gets beat by almost every deck out there, as long as you know what you're doing. But it does beat aggro, so we'll give him that. Alright, our opponent is... what does that say? Dom Deluxe. Not even Doom. Alright, we were from 2 starting to 3 starting town. We're really starting here. How's it going? Do we slow them down? Let's see what they're doing first before we decide to slow them down. Sacred Foundry and Authority. Alright, pretty annoying, but kinda is what it is sort of deal, right? Do we get the Fear of Isolation and Kirin? Let's get the Fear. Really? Is this deck again? I didn't even think I was going to face this deck that often. Alright, let's Tinybones. Discard a card, please. Ooh. Ooh. Extravagant Replication, you say? Now that's an interesting card. Multiversal Passage Past turn. Can I play everything here? I think I can, right? Fix your Tiny Bone. Play the Tiny Bone again. Discard another card. He's down to 11. We'll probably get hit by a split up here, unfortunately, but we had to tempo out somehow. Oh, no, he's just gonna leave. Yeah, we'll take it. Sorry, Dom, no longer deluxe. Alright, our opponent is Nord. He's darker than black. The Mighty. Yeah, the opponent goes first. Alright, we got Tinybones that kind of, you know, forces stuff out of it. But if you have creatures, we'll have issues. My bones are tiny. Actually, both of these verges gets activated by the Tiny Bone, which is pretty fun. Two mana. Has flying as long as it's modified. I don't want you to modify your creatures. Let's have it go away. And it went away. Tap land go. Okay, so I can make him discard the card. I think that's probably better, right? No. Ha! Stupid auto tapper. Almost got me. No more lies. Oh no. Well, I can make him discard one more card. Random out of cards. Shard Mage Rescue. Alright. Does he have another No More Lies? Yeah, the question is, right, do I want to sneak out my Enduring Curiosity here? It does draw me a card, but I think we do this. Break your momentum. You want to counter the momentum breaker, you still lose a card, so. Ah, it's gonna take forever. Okay. I guess he can think about turning his Restless Anchorage into a creature, but instead of losing his card, he lets me out-D him. That would be even better. Now you got to discard a card. Shelter by Ghost. Yeesh. Alright. Now we gotta hope he's got nothing. Optimistic Scavenger. He might not have nothing. Huh. Okay. This is last card of Counterspell. No, not a counterspell, which means... Thank you for... Oh, no, come on. I barely got something through. Alright, GG. Alright, our opponent is the Kikatan. KK Titan? I don't know. I think he's trying to say Titan, but those letters don't match up. Alright, we're gonna go first, so we'll take that go first. Meet our Stormchaser's talents. Black, Cecil. Alright, I don't know what to do here. Try to sneak in extra damage? Compared to what? Compared to watch out for a bat? If I know where to run and he bats me, what can he actually take here? I don't know what I get punished by on turn 2, and I think it's more important to do this. Because let's say a Kirin next turn to catch a block, right? I don't think I'd get much. There's a bat. Again, like I said, I don't know what he punishes with. I have 2 Kirin. He can take Curiosity, but you know, I have infinite nowhere to runs. At least that's the idea. I just need to draw more lands, honestly. Either flood or screwed. Kind of the land base that we're working with. That is a land. Woo! Take that one. Why did I pay the life? Now I feel dumb. Should I fear? Should I fear the Stormchaser's talent or nowhere to run? I don't. I want to bring back nowhere to run, but sacrifice a creature of their choice. That's a very bad play. Oh no, my otter. Whatever will I do? If he attacked with a bat, I'm gonna laugh. Alright, he did not attack with the bat at least. Bring back nowhere to run. Here's a tap land. Guess we say go. Gatekeeper of Malakir. That's a very awful card. Bitter Triumph. Do I even want to protect this Kirin? I don't know if I care. You know, I don't really care. If he wants to use a kill spell on this. Yeah, I think we take it. You got nowhere to run, buddy. Thanks for the curiosity. Ooh, we got a Tinybone. Alright, so... Can he make us discard our curiosity? I don't think so. He could have an exile spell, though. So I could also make him discard one card. Bounce this, make him discard another card. Yeah, I think we do this first to get rid of some cards in his hand. Seems like he has an instant. Probably sack to draw 2 cards. Maybe his nowhere to run. This is the right color, right? Yeah, I feel like it's just like either Bitter Triumph or Nowhere to Run, which Maybe that's what's the hold up. It was a bitter triumph. A lot less. Alright. Still only a 2/4 though, so. I guess we hold up a curiosity. I get to draw a card, but at the cost of a lot of life. Right? This is gonna take all the life out of me. So gotta pass turn and see what he actually does. Hold up mana for interaction. It's risky. Ah, Gatekeeper. Okay. So he's gonna make me sack my flyer. Sacrifice a creature of my choice. Do I want to sacrifice my curiosity? I could Kirin, nowhere to run, and kill his other Gatekeeper. Let's see if he attacks. He doesn't attack, so... Ah, take 2 life for that. Gotta kill one of those. Alright, we'll do this again. I don't know if that was perfectly the right choice there. He's got a bat. I'm gonna run on curiosity. There you got your bat. Actually, don't have any targets here. I draw 3 Kirins. Oh, okay. Do we attack? We take a lot if we attack, right? But we draw 2 cards. Definitely want to attack with the 4/3. I don't think he's blocking the 4/3. We'd be safe. You know what? Let's attack. Alright, he's letting me draw cards. I'll draw 2 cards. Please only 2 lands. Ooh, okay. Yo, that's what's up. So I'll play a land. And I can... Nowhere to run. Well, I don't need to do anything then. If the Aquazaz is the only thing attacking me. Nowhere to run your bat. Got bitter triumph. Well, GG, you're out. Because you're at 6 and I have 6 damage on board. Nice black deck. Alright, our opponent is the Bosgor. Bosgor goes first. We got Verges, so not even black mana in this hand. Alright, there are black mana in this hand. So we'll keep a painful black mana. And our opponent's going first, so we are very far behind here. I don't think I played a Pixie, but it does mean I am going to be behind. Every turn from this point on. Yeah, let's play the Verge, right? I'm gonna have to take this damage anyways. Maybe I take it now. Gives me more room to play with. Yeah, there's Kirin. Let's get rid of that, shall we? Ah, a lot of damage. What do you know? Alright, let's... Pixie back or nowhere to run. No more Kirins, please. I mean, a Momentum Breaker might be able to gain us some life in the long run. And at least Nowhere to Run stops all of these hexproof shenanigans. Second Kirin. Probably has a better thing to target. No? Alright. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. Alright, so now we play Gloomlake Ice Fear. I think we just Momentum Break him. Do we? Yeah, that's Momentum Break. Does he have a third fear? Doesn't have a third fear. You only have so many cards in your hand. You want to burn my Sunpearl Kirin? He didn't want to do it, so I'm going to attack him. This is a sorcery though. He would just play his burn spell instead, so I should do this. He doesn't get a chance. That's the last burn spell. He's only holding on to his burn spell for a while, so discard it. Just do it. Ha! Didn't want to play it? Okay. I mean, if he didn't want to play, he didn't want to play it, right? It's fair. We'll just hold up this and attack him 2 damage a turn. He doesn't want to do anything? Okay. If that's the case, do we Kirin? It is our last value card. First, lining my face. I can't protect my face. But I can sack this. We burst lighting my face, and I got my face back. The Kirin is too frail, but now it's not frail anymore. So I can Kirin the Tinybones, play the Tinybones so that he drops a card. Ah, we got him. Drop your last card. Shelter by Ghost. Kind of completely useless card here. Starting town? Ooh, nice. Alright, so here's lots of damage. Put Pixie back on Nowhere to Run, and yeah, this deck locks down these kind of red decks any day of the week. Good game. GG. Alright, our opponent is a Variana. The crafty Abarian. We're gonna go first. I mean, I got no blue for the fear, but everything else so far is okay. Just draw lands. Forest bodes well if it is a creature deck. We have a lot of removal to remove those creatures. Gene Pollinator. Do we know where to run this Gene Pollinator? I think we do that because it keeps our mana correct. Does it keep our mana correct? I think so. Don't give him the mana. Don't let them pollinate you. Gotta kill all the creatures he has. He has blue. There's treasures inside. Oh boy, okay. Well, we can stop the Ketramos with the Tragic Trajectory. Brings back the Pollinator. I think we fear. I think we fear into Tinybones. Get rid of a card. We brought it back just to get it gone. At some point we'll play his Ketramos, right? I think that's what's happening here. I'm not sure. I think this is the Roots Ketramos deck. Overlord of the Balmer. Well, that means making him discard kind of is pointless. But I don't really have much else. Plays the Pollinator. We can fit the curve, playing the Kirin on Nowhere to Run, and then play Nowhere to Run, or I can play Pixie on Nowhere to Run, and then play Nowhere to Run. Like, I don't know if I want to save the Tragic Trajectory for Ketramos. I don't know if it's necessary right now. He's running too many cards in the turn. Mill 3 card. Yeah, it is a Roots deck. There's a Roots. We gotta get rid of his cards as quickly as we can, so... Do I still have enough Kaito? No. Okay, so I can't do that. Ah! I meant to do that. Powercast my Kaito. That way I can surveil too.
I love a dramatic.
Your secrets didn't stay hidden for long.
Yeah, that was totally planned. I 100% planned that. Gotta kill him in 3 turns, right? Okay, gotta kill him in like 1 turn now. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. What does he have? Activated abilities. Well, Seam Rip. Nothing really that good as Rip. Just these creatures. I do have a Momentum Breaker, but... Is it worth getting the Momentum Breaker out? I think it might be. And I don't want to draw a card, I want to deal more damage.
I just hate a fair fight.
Ketramos can't block yet. He does get to draw a card. That's the most annoying part. He knows how to know where to run. Kill that. He's at 6 life. There's 3. I don't need to put a stun on it. Buff on my ninjas.
Never underestimate.
Go ninjas! GG. -8. Ah, that's a lot of damage. Alright, we beat the root stack without killing his graveyard. I'm proud. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw those Kaito games, how does this deck feel? I was very often either mana screwed or mana flooded with this 23 land deck, which is weird. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it did happen. And I didn't like it. I was not happy with it at first, but then the deck started performing, and I was really happy about it because if you remember the old Pixie, Hopeless Nightmare combo, when it performs, oh, does it really perform, right? So that's what makes this deck pretty good. Now, I would say, this is a very strong deck that I stole on the internet, but there's a lot of things that I want to kind of tune, and I want to finally tune, because it made me angry at some moments because the cards I have are not made for the curve that this deck is made for. So, yeah, Tinybones is great. I might go down to 2 off because a lot of times, you know, making our opponent discard a card when we had no tempo is not great. It's like Hopeless Nightmare, which will deal 2 damage to our opponent. This deck won't do that, so I don't know. Tinybone, maybe we'll go down to 2 off. That's just a maybe, right? Not 100% sure, but definitely going down to 2 off is the Enduring Curiosity. So often do I have Curiosity stuck in my hand while I only have 3 lands. So I think I have too many lands to get to, you know, for this deck, and I think I have too many Curiosities. It is a great card in Dimir, don't get me wrong, but in this combination of 3 colors, I think it's a little bit hard to get 2 blue pips and have 4 lands out and not be dead against most of our opponents. So I think we can go down to 2 off Enduring Curiosity because I want 4 Kaito. We need more Kaitos in this deck. It's an Esper Kaito deck. We should have more Kaitos. So that's the whole idea. Now, these lands are fine. I don't think we need it, or these interactions are fine. I don't think we need to cut any interactions. I might actually cut the Soulstone Sanctuary. It did hit that last guy as a ninja, but honestly, we would have won anyways. We didn't need it. So Soulstone Sanctuary never really helped. I would probably just put another starting town just to get the lands, fixed, or even just run 22 lands, right? 22 lands might be enough since we are a 3-color Esper Pixie deck. Not really Kaito, right? Mainly Pixie. So I can kind of steer into the Pixie theme a little bit more by going down to 1 or 2 Curiosity, 4 Kaito, or maybe even 3 Kaito. And we want to have, where is the choke? Is it chokeable? I think I'm spelling chocobo wrong. I'm gonna spell cho first. It's a 2-mana chocobo. I feel like I'm spelling it wrong, so let's start with the return. There is the Sunpearl Kirin, and then there is the other return that is chocobo. Yeah, Ambrosia. Oh, it's not called chocobo. That's why. Why isn't it chocobo? Ambrosia Whiteheart, because that is a legendary creature, and it does pretty much the same thing that Sunpearl Kirin has, except it's a 2/2, not a 2/1, and it's landfall +1/+0. But worst thing is that it doesn't have flying, which does not have the evasion that Enduring Curiosity needs. But if we're cutting Enduring Curiosity down to 2, then I think it's okay. Ambrosia is really good at 1, bouncing things at flash speed and still be able to block a 1-power creature, could not die, right? Another thing that's really good at is being legendary, which will trigger the Tinybones. It's kind of a small combo, but it's still one that I think is relevant because sometimes, 1 or 2 damage is how we win those games. So that's how I feel. I think that's a very useful part of the deck. It's a useful card into the deck that's missing. And overall, right? I think this Esper Kaito deck can go the distance, and a lot of people have forgotten about it, so you can catch them off guard with all these discards. And that's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.